Day 3 in the books. You never know what's going to happen at the sale. Man, I was really happy with the way days 1 and 2 turned out. Didn't really know what to expect going into day 3. I will tell you a little secret. Of all the horses on day number 3 I wanted, 608 was the only one that I felt was not a must-have, because none of them are must-haves. I didn't get my day 2 must-have, one that I thought I would really wanted. I was nowhere even close. I didn't get the original horse that I thought would be the stable premium horse, which actually ended up working out great, because the horse that we put in there was a fantastic acquisition, I believe. Now, obviously, nobody knows for another 9-10 months, but everything went according to plan. I guess I can start from the top again and give you guys a full rundown in case you missed it. First horse purchased, I see a lot of people buying up the shares of Captain Incredible. Now, I had talked to, there was a number of our bigger clients wanted large chunks of Captain Incredible, and I said, guys, would you do me a favor? I know the horse is going to bring more than the stable is positioned to purchase. Would you mind leaving me some shares so that I could put them on the site? Now, I saw the ones from yesterday chewed up. There was some from today. They keep coming in little by little, and if any more come in, I will put them up for everybody to get in the sale. But this is an incredible looking Captain Treacherous, the most expensive horse we've ever acquired, and the driving force behind that was Daniel Cordina and his wife Sandy. They wanted a Captain Treacherous. We saw this horse, and we knew when we saw him that kind of the horse we wanted. And with Poppy Rob Hanover and Tall Dark Stranger taking a large chunk of no, not a large chunk, but taking a chunk out of the pacing market, especially in Pennsylvania, I felt that maybe Captain Treacherous, a horse that was already proven, might be the better way to go for us. And I made one bid at $230, and we ended up getting him. So a great acquisition for us. Obviously, a little outside of our depth, you know. For those of you that have been around, and I can think of the faces and the names of people that have been with us from the start, and I truly appreciate your confidence in what we do. But you know where we started, and there was no Captain Incredibles in our horizon, that's for sure. We slowly but surely clawed our way up the ladder and up the ranks, and did it in the most conservative manner, and made ourselves into the stable.ca, which is today, and everyone takes note of what we're doing. I'm certain of that. I see the people that talk to me all the time. I can't go through a day without somebody saying, I watch all your videos. And I think it's important that we have these videos. It's the best way for me to articulate to you the way I feel about everything that is going on at the stable. And for us to be able to go to the sale and know that if this horse brings around $230,000, he's ours, is a very stressful feeling, but a very humbling feeling, knowing that Daniel and other people and all of you have put your trust in what we're doing, in the process in which we do it. So Captain Incredible was our first acquisition of the sale. Now, again, anybody that's here with us can attest this. I was quite vocal about it. Of the entire sale property, of all the horses I thought we needed, we wanted, obviously I thought Captain Incredible was great. The horses have to go so fast on the pace, you never know. He's an incredible looking animal, but I'm always going to deviate to those trotters, right? So we bought Captain Incredible. On the pacing side, there were a few horses. I was looking more at Bettor's Delights and horses for Ontario that might suit us. I did look at some Poppy Rob Hanovers. I did bid on some Poppy Rob Hanovers. I didn't really get a chance to explore much of the Tall Dark Stranger Avenue, because I just thought they were going to be super overpriced, and a lot of them were. Now, I don't mean to say that Tall Dark Stranger wasn't worth that. I have no idea. I just thought that dollar for dollar, if we're going in looking for horses, I thought that the Tall Dark Strangers were going to command an extraordinarily high amount of money. So I waited. I kind of stayed off them a little bit and focused on the Captain Treacherouses, or the odd Poppy Rob Hanover that I did bid on. Or, as I said, a Bettor's Delight. Maybe in the past, some of them would have taken up some more money from the people that were bidding on the Tall Dark Stranger. So I thought we were positioned well for the Pacers, and we did get the horse we wanted. Now, my top pick of the entire sale on the trotting side was number 31, Grand Slam Dio. This is a Propulsion, first crop sire. We're going to stick to our roots when it comes to how we do business, and I always thought the best value for us, dollar for dollar, with a proven very good mare and a good pedigree, is that first crop angle. And Propulsion, I thought was a great start, great place to start. Grand Slam Dio was a propulsion filly, is a propulsion filly, March 12th, Kentucky and New Jersey eligible, and she is the half-sister to Up Your Dio. And another little tiny interesting factoid, I guess, was the second dam. Grand Revival is in the second dam. That horse won the super final in Ohio. So lots of talent, lots of speed, lots of money in this entire family, and conversation for a beer sometime was how much I thought this horse would bring and how high we were going and what we had to pay for her. So Grand Slam Dio, just again, now I bought 2 horses. I'm in the sale at Lexington, Kentucky, and I bought the pacer we wanted for an extraordinarily high amount of money, which we knew he was going to bring, and my number one pick in the trotting side. Now, I did, the same as everybody else, had my eyes on Mission Brief's sister. She went for $800,000, but you remove a David Anderson or a Melander from going really high, and all of a sudden she is in our wheelhouse, and that's really the only difference between a $100,000 horse in some cases and an $800,000 horse is 2 of those heavyweights butting heads, and you get that on day one. So very, very happy with the way that day one was, and then I ended the day with Kierkegaard's brother, right? Number 125. I actually left him off this list. I have to put him on it. 125, enter. Here's another horse. Got a full brother who's got almost $400,000, made a mark of 150, won a number of races, won the big race in New York, the Empire Breeders at Vernon in 150. Been a really good, solid horse for his entire life. This is his full brother. And the one note that I made, very nice horse, built for New York. As far as Chapter 7s go, he was probably middle of the road, maybe even a little higher than middle of the road. As far as your average horse, especially selling on day one in Kentucky, he was small. But the Chapter 7s always run small, and I think this guy, again, I thought I had marked him at 120. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean I was going to 120. Last horse in the ring, I had no need to purchase this horse. I just thought at 95 it was just low enough where here's a very quality horse. Maybe we got a little bargain because he was the last horse through the ring. Maybe I was wrong, maybe. But I thought he was a really, really good looking horse. So now I'm really pumped. I got my top filly, trotting filly. I got the pacer that Daniel wanted, that I wanted, quite frankly. And we got a really, really good pickup with Kierkegaard K's brother. So I'm heading into day 2. Really, really excited. Really excited about what the day will bring. And I still don't know, right? I don't know what the day is going to bring. So we start off day number 2. We get a little ways down the road. And I love having groups of people with me, especially to bounce ideas off of. We're in the middle of sale. I'm not paying attention really, and Steve looks at me and says, "Hey, did you look at this horse?" I look up. It's number 171. He's at like 35. I scroll back. I said, all I had was very nice video, but it was written in orange font, or orange, I don't even know, font, orange color. And that for this sale meant that's pre-sale, that I did not look at this horse. And I said really nice video, good looking colt. He said, I looked at him, he is a really, really nice horse. I said, cool, what do you think he's worth? He said, a lot more than this. So I looked down quick. Horse right on the top of the page, the half sister by Man of Many Missions, is Westland Quest. I know she's got the world record. I watched her set it at Northfield Park last year. 50 and 4 on a half-mile track. And this is the half-brother. It's not like she's down on the page somewhere hidden, third dam is the dam of, or Rosetta, the third dam is the dam of. This is the half-sister, is Westland Quest. 40. Now, it's funny because we sit kind of front and center where the horses come in, and the auctioneers, the 3 spotters, had picked up at that. We're looking at this horse, looking at this, and they're slowing, they're dragging their feet. 40. He's looking at me, 40. I bid one time, 42. We get the horse, 42. So I'm a little indifferent at the time. I trust Steve implicitly. He's got a good eye for a horse. I already liked the horse's video. I wrote that down. And later on, we went back and looked at the horse. Sure enough, exactly like Steve said, the horse was amazing looking. So there's a $42,000 Father Patrick, brother to a mare who set the world record. And not just $42,000 Father Patrick, Pennsylvania and Kentucky eligible horse whose sister set the world record. it's pretty hard not to be happy how we're starting off day number 2. We're going along, and this is why it's important. This is why I think it's so, so important to check out every horse and to make notes, be accurate, and price the horses. I looked at number 235. Nice colt, New Jersey and Kentucky eligible. First foal from a Donato Hanover mare. Nice horse, kind of a throw-in horse, but a day 2 throw-in horse. This is the type of horse you see day 3, day 4, but a decent pedigree, right? First foal is the half-sister to a world champion in Wild Honey. She just made $1 million and went in 50-4. Pretty nice family. And you might say, well, it's an anomaly in that family. No, it's not. Dream Vacation is in the 3rd dam. Nice colt. I did the video. You guys saw the colt there. I did the video. I had my notes here. Nice colt. I probably wouldn't have bought him. Only $24,000 for a Walner was a little hard not to do. So again, we picked up a Father Patrick that looks like he was well under what he should be bringing, and we picked up a Walner that looks like he also was well below what he should be bringing. I looked through the whole day. I was a little miffed. I probably would have went a little bit deeper on the full sister to Captain Corey, but I could see, I was mad at the time, but I could see the bid spotters from the glare just at that time of day where the sun was. I could see him trying to see the crowd in the front where I was. And I was standing right beside a gentleman. I was, hey, and he missed me. Now, at the time, the horse went for 210, so I'm sure the people that bought it would have went to 230, 240, which I wouldn't have. I probably was only going to bid once or twice, and missed the filly. And there was a number of horses coming after her. I told you the story about the two chimpanzee fillies, and to pick up the one chimpanzee filly who's a brother to Kim Meridian, and out of a sister to Rebuff and Non-Stick, and then have Rum Boogie in the 3rd. Listen, you saw the video, you see the pedigree, you guys can read, you know what the averages for chimpanzee are. Melisandre, top shelf filly, and the coolest thing was, I'm standing at Diamond Creek looking at a horse today. That's a lie. I was eating their ice cream. I wasn't looking at a horse. I looked at a couple of horses earlier, but they have ice cream at Diamond Creek, and I was gorging myself like a slob at Diamond Creek. And this wonderful gentleman comes up, Italian gentleman. You're McDonald? I said, yeah. You bought Melisandre yesterday. I said, yes, sir, I did. Me, I'm the underbidder. His sons were there. I know the 2 boys that were there were really nice kids. We interviewed the first young man, really nice guy. The one kid talked good. He was really sharp. You can tell he had been in the States a little bit, and then the other brother a little bit less, but they were all understood English and talked English very well. They own a big farm. They bought 10 horses in the sale. They're Aki Svansted's owners. And I know that Aki Svansted, Market told me, was the underbidder on the filly. It was these gentlemen that were the underbidder on the filly, and he was talking about her. We talked for about half an hour, walked around, looked at a couple of horses, and then Filippo went on and was interviewed on our show. Check that video out, go out and look. Really, really good people. And we were talking about Chimpanzee and how he very much liked him, and he loved this filly, and he really thought that maybe he should have kept going, and I thanked him for not. And I told him, because it was clear that they just wanted the best of the best. They wanted everything the best, right? Which, perfect. If I was coming from Italy to here, I would too, I suppose. But I had said to him, I love this chimpanzee, but one that really caught my eye is much later in the sale. And I was hesitant to tell him, but at that time I'm thinking they're not going to be interested in Jimpery anyway. And that was the one I wanted. Really bad. Said to Amy, I loved Melisandre. I loved the Plunge Blue Chip Family filly. A number of other ones that went really high. There was a bunch of horses I really liked. And sure, the Kentucky incentive thing caught my eye, but it wasn't like I had to have a Kentucky horse because this was a good-looking filly. And Jimboree later in the sale was one, and I actually took him down. And I said, hey, I'm a little hesitant to do this. I said, but I love Melisandre, but I'm going to show you who I think is a very interesting chimpanzee filly today, which was this morning, selling tonight. He said, okay. We went down and looked at her, and he said, wow, she really is nice. After they got looking at her, I'm like, well, they're going to bid on her now. I really shot myself in the foot here. But I don't think they did. Very nice people. Anyway, so I have got through day 2, got the filly I wanted in the chimpanzee filly. I'm just beaming. I don't have a ton of horses. I got 6 horses, exactly what I wanted to do. 3 or 4 more on day 3 would be perfect if they were the right ones. Now, you guys know, if any of you have been with me, I stand in the back ring. I watch the horses walking in the back ring, just in case maybe I missed something, pro or negative. I see this giant coming through. I look at Amy, I said, some Muscle Hill. Muscle Hill out of a Donato Hanover mare. 1 previous living foal. This is a colt, only New Jersey. Probably some value there. The second dam, Cadelia, made $500,000, and she is the mother of Sorella. Sorella made $1 million. And then I look in the third dam. None of you are with me long enough to remember Lindy 500. That is a millennium ago. I had this horse. I didn't love him at the time, but he made money and he raced good. I just always felt he could race better. We got lots of them, don't we? But he always did okay. I just always had the feeling he could do better. This is a good family. Really good family. And he is a giant. Do yourself a favor. Go look at the video of 408. One of the best videos I've seen of a yearling. That size, and you can tell how big he is. One of the most athletic looking videos of a horse that size I have seen, I think, in this sale. 408, Southwind Idex. He looked very, very good. And I was stuck at 45. I went 50, 50, 50. They're going to drop the hammer. Somebody bids 51. That's a me move. You don't do that. I bid 52. Guy goes 53. Guy goes 53, 53, 55. I look at the guy, he goes 55. I said, nope. 55. I said, no. He got to go 51. I'm bidding 54. The bidder laughs. He goes, okay. All right, 54. And the hammer goes down. 54,000. A very, very good looking horse. Very good looking horse. And we had bid on a number of Ontario breds all through today. We'll get to the one we got in a minute. But Southwind Idex, I just thought was such an athletic looking big horse. How couldn't I? How couldn't I like him? So one of those pickups where it wasn't a must-have, it was just a should-have when you're looking at it from my standpoint. So I was really happy with Southwind Idex. The next one was simple. This was a bit of a sneaky one, right? I had talked with Dr. Rucker and a number of other people. You guys know. You watched Green Tea train down. Now, the story with Green Tea was Dr. Rucker wanted to give him a month to qualify him. When we were getting everybody ready to qualify, he wanted to send him to Kentucky. He didn't want to race him in Pennsylvania. Want to send him to Kentucky, give him a couple of weeks off, polish him up, get him ready, qualify him, and race him in Kentucky. No harm, no foul, I understand. We send the horse to Kentucky, he rests him up, he gets him ready to qualify. I think Bob Stewart, fantastic trainer, I think he gets the horse ready, and he says he's over on a shaft. They fluoroscope him again. He's got an OCD in his hock. It happens. It looks like he rattled an OCD off his hock in the time being. So they take it out and they give him the rest of the year off. I know how fast the horse was. Dr. Rucker certainly does. Many of you do. Not many other people do, though. This is his Walner sister. His Walner sister. Now, if Green Tea is as good as I think he'll be at 3, he'll make the pedigree anyway. So as far as residual broodmare value, I don't have to lean on the third dam. On the second dam, which is Charmed Life's mother. Here, I got a bunch of stuff written down. Erase. Christine M, right. Couldn't think of her name. So a fantastic pedigree, a Walner filly, a brother to a horse that I know is good. Right now he hurts the pedigree because it just says unraced. But I know how fast he was. So Rosetta, $27,000. Yeah, for a Walner. Thank you. I was very happy to pick up Rosetta. I went back and looked again. I didn't love her video, but I keep telling you guys, we're not racing videos. We're not racing pedigree pages. We are racing horses. And Rosetta, yeah, I think that was a pretty good pickup, if I do say so myself. If I do pat myself on the back. 502 Green Glitter. I had looked. I said, Amy, we got to get some Ontario breds, and we don't have any PA fillies, I don't believe, right now, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe one. And then we looked. None. So this giant, beautiful filly comes in the back ring. I said, who's this one? It's a green shoe filly. They've been rolling pretty strong, especially the fillies. Fashion on a Star, okay horse. Alaraj Star, the mother, she's pretty good. She made $400,000, right? Lots of money, lots of talent in the family. I'm thinking, I'm not going past 32 on this filly. She's a filly we need to fill. This is a cart filly. This is a cart horse. We need to put this horse in the cart for Pennsylvania. What's she going to bring? I thought I almost had her for 18. She brought $23,000 again. I had her marked at 32. And I went back and looked at her in the back ring. I even walked down the chute where they stopped her. I stopped her and I looked at her really closely when she was stopped. There was no noise. She was quiet. She was standing still. There was no one around her. And I looked at her. I said, wow, it's a nice filly. $23,000. So that was an easy purchase also. It was funny. I watched 588, big, strong colt, big, heavy colt. And it was funny. One of my friends was sitting there and he said, oh, that horse, I think he might be too big. I said, Keith, I'm going to race him. I'm not going to lift him. I'm sure there's big horses bigger than him that have raced. It won't be a problem. So Chicago Hall, this was a muscle mass. And I'm thinking, this was the first year where I watched a couple of muscle masses went through that sold really weak. One that didn't look very good, I don't think, went for 6. I assume it didn't look very good. There was one, had a little bit of a clubby foot earlier on, and that was an embryo horse that was a brother to Cantab Hall. He sold for, I think it was just back here. I don't have it. I think it was 40, maybe around the same thing, around 40 or 50. And then this horse did not have anything wrong with him other than he was a giant. And he sold for $45,000 to $47,000. So we got a muscle mass colt, Ontario and Kentucky eligible. His brother, Casanova Hall, we raced against him with Memory and Imagination, both in Pennsylvania and in Kentucky. The update for him, I believe, was that he made $63,000. I think that update is not even as accurate as it can be. I think if I pull up Casanova Hall, he's got more than that made. Not positive, maybe he doesn't. But now a 2-year-old mark of 57, 63,821 at this, on this update button. And that's the only other sibling out of this mare who is a cash hall mare. So Casanova Hall, the only other sibling to Chicago Hall. The second dam, Cricket Hall, you guys watched her race all last year. Did well for Ron Burke, and then did even better. Did well for Bob McIntosh and did even better for Ron Burke after. And then Conbrio Hall, good horses. And then down on the third dam is that Cantab Hall line. So pretty hard not to be happy. We did pick up our first Ontario bred today. It was a muscle mass giant, and his name is Chicago Hall. And then I waited all day for my girl, Jimboree. My favorite horse in the third session, bar none. The one I wanted to wait for the entire day, right till the end of the sale. I had no idea what she'd bring. I saw Dr. Rucker, many people saying, oh, what about the other one you bought? That horse was Dr. Rucker's. The same gentleman owned Green Tea. He purchased that horse for himself. What he does with that horse with us or in the stable is completely up to him. I'm happy to help in any way, but that is his horse. And he paid $50 for that chimpanzee. I'm looking. Here's Jimboree. And she is beautiful. This is the same family. You guys remember Wildo in Hanover. And somebody said, oh, she wasn't that good. I said, no bad taste in our mouth. We paid $37 for her. We sold her for almost $80. Sold him for almost $80. And sold her for almost $80. And she made $60. So we paid $37 for her. In total, between sale and purchase, is $140. Everywhere in between is bills. We certainly didn't lose on her. Was she Crystal Fashion? No. Not a bad taste in my mouth. It just didn't work out. So this is a sister, a Donato Hanover sister to Crystal Fashion by Chimpanzee. And man, what a beautiful filly. Take the time, watch her video. I know you didn't get to see her. You're not going to get a chance to see her. But if you see her in our possession, you'll see what I'm talking about. An absolute knockout. And the favorite horse that I bought from this session. So, day one, I got the pacer we wanted. I got my number one pick on the trotting filly side of the entire sale. Day two, we ended up with the chimpanzee filly, another beautiful filly. On this side, we have We ended up with a Walner colt that looked good, a Father Patrick that looked very, very good in day number 2. And then day number 3, I got my favorite horse of the entire session, and a bunch of horses that are going to hopefully do exactly what we need them to do. Starting off with that giant Muscle Hill that we bought, and then the Walner, sister to Green Tea. Then we went to the Green Shoe filly out of Al Star. Bought her, so she'll fit in nicely. The Muscle Mass colt, we're beginning to build our Ontario string as of today, and then the filly I wanted by Jim Panzi. So it's been a great sale for us. It's been a great sale season for us, and very, very happy with what we've been able to bring in here in Lexington. We still got day number 4. We still got day number 5. I think we're going to be a little silent on both days. If something passes through that we really need, we're going to look into it. But I'm going to spend the rest of the night rearranging everything so we know where the buckets sit. We know what everybody has. We know what everybody needs. And when I go tomorrow, we'll go with a much more structured plan. So with that, I'm going to let you go. What a great day. Oh my God, I forgot. I almost forgot. I was so busy talking about babies. What about Spitfire Overseas equaling the track record at the Meadows today? 152-2 for a 3-year-old Ridgeling, I guess, stud. And then Five Fish Species finishing 3rd out of the 8 hole. It's been a great day on the track again for us. So hopefully we keep it going the rest of the night into tomorrow. We get the sale tomorrow. We get the sale Friday. But before the sale Friday, we have our boy Pickpocket Racing. Oh yes, his brother went for $255,000. His first cousin went for $160,000, I believe. So Pickpocket helping out us and all his former owners here in Lexington. So I will let you go. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care. I will talk to you all likely tomorrow morning.